Shannon, how should LeBron handle this?
Or do you want me to go first?
You go.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
Yeah, you're just so used to. Maybe it's my turn
Skip,
today.
I apologize.
It's okay.
I should let you start here.
Allow me
How should
to
LeBron
help
handle this?
Shannon Sharpe today. Hear me out, Shannon.
Okay.
I'm assuming that after the Pelicans played at Milwaukee last night that they boarded a plane and they flew straight to Los Angeles, California. Am I right about that?
Yes,
because they play the Lakers tomorrow night here in Los Angeles.
Yes.
And I'm not assuming this. I know this for a fact, that back in September, Anthony Davis, as Jenny points out, fired his agent and hired Rich Paul of Clutch Sports, which operates under the LeBron umbrella. I know it's not technically LeBron's company, but Rich Paul is obviously very close to LeBron James. They grew up together.
Yep.
And so now Rich Paul represents LeBron and Anthony Davis. So I am proposing, and I could be right about this, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure that LeBron and Rich and Anthony Davis are going to have dinner tonight. That's what I would do if I'm LeBron. I'm going to put myself in LeBron's shoes. And I'm going to have that dinner at my estate in Brentwood, which is about a couple of miles from here, right? And over dinner, I'm going to tell Anthony that the time is now, not later. I would say, Anthony, I need you to do something that is against your nature. I need you to take a stand and make a stink with your management that you are demanding a trade to the Lakers right here, right now, before this trade deadline of February 7th. So over the next few weeks, as we go into the new year, I would tell Anthony to tell his management to call Magic Johnson and try to arrange a package of players that you would accept in return for Anthony Davis. And I'm assuming those players would be Kuzma and Lonzo and Brandon Ingram. Would that be enough to do this deal? Would the Pelicans accept that? Would they be happy with that? I'm just going to guess yes, because two things are operating here. LeBron is not getting any younger. He's in his 16th season.
That would be true.
Okay? And number two, right now, the Lakers would have what I would call an exclusive negotiating window with the Pelicans.
Correct.
Right now, Boston's hands are tied by this weird rule of designated player because they had already acquired Kyrie.
Right.
So until Kyrie's contract expires, which is not until next summer, Boston cannot trade anything. They can't make a big trade like this one. So right now, they're out until the summer when all bets are off and they could jump into a bidding war, because if Anthony waits until the summer to turn down the max contract offer from his New Orleans Pelicans, then it's open season. It would become an auction for Anthony Davis. And I'm guessing just about every team in the league would try to do something, right?
I would agree with that.
There would be packages coming in from everywhere, starting with the one from Boston, because they have more draft picks than the Lakers do, obviously. And then you could say Jason Tatum is a little better than any of those three. Is he better than Kuzma? I'd have to give you that right now, but Kuzma's coming.
Kuzma's coming.
He is coming. So my point is that you need to do this now if you're LeBron, because this is my take from both these two players. I believe LeBron needs Anthony right now. He needs him right here, right now.
Okay.
And I also believe Anthony needs LeBron. By the way, there's a big MVP matchup that I watched every dribble of last night up in Milwaukee between Giannis and AD. And AD came up short again. So, again, I think he needs LeBron. That's the kind of player who could take Anthony over the top. I think they would be good together. So I'm just going to do the hypothetical. If those three kids go to New Orleans, then down the stretch of this year, post-trade deadline, you would have Rondo at the point. And then they would need Rondo. And, again, he and Anthony were really good in the playoffs in the first round against Portland, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you'd have Rondo, LeBron, Anthony, and you'd have to mix and mash if you still had Josh Hart, KCP, Lance, Michael Beasley. You'd probably acquire another shooter if you could at the trade deadline, like a sort of a spare part shooter.
Right.
And you still have JaVale and Tyson Chandler, and that's how you would have to roll. And I would like that lineup a little better on experience and star power than I would what they have right now with the kids and the cast-offs.
Right.
So if I'm LeBron and I have this little window right now, I'm having that dinner, and I'm going to tell that young man, this is what I need you to do for you and for me.
Right. You know what, Skip? I can't say I disagree with you. I believe he should probably go because he's done a great job thus far of not putting pressure on Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka this summer of going and get a second superstar. Because he could have done it. He's like, look, I need you to move heaven and earth to go get Jimmy Butler or get Kawhi. He didn't do that. He says, I'm going to trust Magic. I'm going to trust Rob Pelinka and their vision of what they see for this basketball team. But I think the time is now. He needs to put that pressure. But he also needs to explain to Anthony Davis, do you understand the criticism and the blowback that you're going to receive from the fans for requesting this or demanding
it?
Do you understand that now? You must be willing to handle this type of criticism, because Anthony Davis had it real good. He went to the University of Kentucky. He won a national championship. He was the first overall pick. He's been an all-NBA player, so life has been good for Anthony Davis. He's really never had criticism.
It's been peaceful. I would agree.
So now the criticism is going to come, because they're going to say, oh, you can't beat him. You want to go join him.
Yep.
So you understand what comes along with this, AD, right? Okay, you're good with that. Also, I think another thing, Skip, LeBron, we're 31 games in. LeBron, you know what you have now. Now, you've gone through one situation where Rondo got suspended, B.I. got suspended, and you had a nice little rotation. It came back, okay, now we're going to figure it out. Rondo gets hurt, B.I. gets hurt, so now you're going to have to go through a shuffle again. 31 games in, what's the likelihood of someone, Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, Josh Hart, whomever the case may be, what's the likelihood over the next 5 months, Skip, someone drastically changes? You are what you are.
Okay.
Okay. So
and they just went 1-3 on their road trip.
They went 1-3 on the road trip. And clearly, look, I love Kyle Kuzma. And for me, Skip, I believe, is Kyle Kuzma better than Brandon Ingram? I don't know. But I do know this. He plays better with LeBron than Brandon Ingram does. And so by that, he's a better fit with LeBron. But if I have a chance to get 6'10", Anthony Davis, who averages 28, 12, 2.5 blocks a night, Skip, I got to move heaven and earth to do it. I'm sorry. I don't really want to get rid of Kuzma. The other part, look, I think Lonzo can be good. I don't see transcendent like you do. But, Skip, this guy is a generational player, Skip. And I know you said, well, you don't see. But, I mean, he can go get you 41 and 17. And so he's legitimate. And maybe LeBron has to concede some of the shots, as opposed to saying, you know what, in a year or two, I'm willing to be number 2. That process might get sped up with Anthony Davis coming. But you have to be willing to do that in order, because, and again, like you said, Boston can't do anything. Skip, look, if I'm negotiating with you, say you want to sell a car or you want to sell your home, if it's just you and I negotiating, I got a good chance of getting what I want at the price I want.
That is true.
But once Jenny come into effect, or this and A and B and C and D, now all of a sudden it gets into a bidding war, and you're going to take the best price, even if you and I are good friends. Like, hey, Shannon, we're friends, but hey, buyer B offered me about substantially more than what you did. So, as you mentioned, you wait till the offseason. Not only are the Celtics going to be in play, there are going to be a lot of other teams that's going to come into play. Like the Cowboys, Skip, the Dallas Cowboys know if they wait until the offseason to try to deal for Amari Cooper, there are going to be 30 other teams that's going to come into the fray with maybe better than what you have. So let's go ahead and nip this in the bud, and we're not going to have to worry about it. I believe that's what the Lakers should do in this situation. If Anthony Davis is willing to go to it, now, understand, Anthony, you might make this demand behind the scenes, but they're going to leak that information.
They will. And you're going to have to back it up publicly, and you're going to have to stand up to it, and you can't back off it. And he even said last night in the locker room after the game in Milwaukee, I love New Orleans. I speak their slang. I love their food. Well, that's warmth.
You can have that food sent to you. Skip, for me, why else would you change agent? Anthony Davis is a supermax player. No other agent. It's not like Rich Paul can get him $300 million as opposed to the $239 for 5 years that he's going to get regardless of who his agent is. So once you're slotted like that, what difference does the agent make? Unless there's an agent that can possibly get you to your destination. And I believe that's why he made the move to Rich Paul.
Now, to my issue with Anthony Davis, and I'm going to say it one more time for the sake of this, because this is why I think he belongs with LeBron. He is transcendent statistically. In fact, I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like this before. Even this year, he is leading the league in PER, player efficiency rating, and he's leading in estimated wins added. So all the stats are screaming best player, MVP. He's averaging for the year 28 points in 14, or 28 and 12, I'm sorry, 28 and 12 with 5 assists that he's averaging and 3 blocks and 2 steals. And last night, he tweaked his ankle in the first half and had to go in for a while, and then they said he had a stomach problem that was bothering him. But he came back and played very well for much of the second half. So last night, he plays only 29 minutes, and he has 27 points, 11 rebounds, and he makes 4 of 9 three-point shots. Well, this is off the charts now.
Right.
But the record is still 15 and 17, the third worst record in the West. So it's not showing in the W&L column the way it should.
Right.
But still, when you have transcendent statistically, that means he's probably not an alpha. He's not a leader. He's not a takeover guy. Even in the fourth quarter last night, he didn't score over the last 5:44 of what was a close game against Giannis, big MVP head-to-head. And Milwaukee won the fourth quarter 33-25 and pulled away and won pretty handily, 121-115, 6-point game. And actually, Anthony down the stretch got outplayed by DJ Wilson, former first-round pick of Milwaukee. I think he was the 17th overall. But he actually outplayed him and guarded him. So my point is, when it was time, when the money was on the table, Anthony was nowhere to be seen down the stretch. He needs LeBron. He would rise and shine with LeBron, and LeBron needs him because LeBron needs a co-star. And this is legit. This isn't betting on the come. This isn't, we hope Kyle turns into that guy by the end of the year.
Right.
He's proven. He's played in a lot of games. He hasn't done great in the playoffs, but they finally won a big series against Portland last year. So he's got some scar tissue here. You know, you could trust him. The moment won't be too big for him. I think it would be a great fit. That's why tonight, if I'm LeBron, I'm going to drive it home to him. I'll back you up, but you're going to have to take the beating publicly on this.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not his nature. He's a nice guy. I've had him on other shows I've been on. He's a very good guy. He's got a good heart. He's going to do the right things. He's going to represent your franchise well. He's going to say the right things. But right now, he needs to say the right thing for him. And I don't love...
And do the right thing for him.
For him. What did Kawhi Leonard do? You know, I still can't forgive him. And I just said his name because he deserved it. No, he deserved it now because...
he played well, didn't he?
Okay, no, he's not.
He ain't playing well?
No, he didn't play very well.
last night?
He didn't do anything last night. Fred VanVleet won the game.
No, 28.
Huh?
He had 28-11?
Yeah. Huh?
28-11-6?
Look at what VanVleet did in the fourth quarter. Look at the big shots he made.
And they played without Kyle Lowry and Serge Ibaka, but that's neither here nor there.
That's neither here nor there. But Kawhi Leonard last year decided to play the game the way the loophole lets you play the game. And that is, I just don't like it here anymore.
Right.
They didn't treat me right, whatever his contention is with them. So he says, there's a loophole in the system. And that is, I'll just say I don't want to play. I just don't want to play.
Right.
So he plays 9 out of 82 games last year and he quit on the team because he wanted out. He was trying to force a trade somewhere, maybe to the Lakers to start with, but he just wanted out so he could then have another year before he could make his choice.
Right.
So he got out. He forced their hand. Well, it got ugly.
Yes.
And trust me, Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker never loved it. Tim wasn't there last year, but I'm just talking about in the grand scheme of how Spurs handle their business.
Right.
That's not how anyone had ever handled their business in the history of the San Antonio Spurs dynasty.
Right.
Well, he just decided, I don't care. I'll take the public beating over this. I'm out.
Yeah.
And again, Anthony could take that path. He could just say, I'm out.
Well, you